Good afternoon, students. Welcome to our online class. This is your third period, and the subject is social science. Students, today, through this recorded video class, I am going to continue the same chapter, that is, chapter 4 from economics, with the title Globalization and the Indian Economy. I repeat, today, through this recorded video class, I am going to continue the same chapter, that is chapter 4, Globalization and Indian Economy, from economics book. Students, in the last period, we have completed up to that Ford Motors, an American company. That box information we have completed. We have completed the topic interlinking production across countries. So the topic was completed. Now today, in this period, I am going to cover the following topics. One is foreign trade and integration of markets. Foreign trade and integration of markets. Our second topic is Chinese toys in India. Chinese toys in India. And our third topic is what is globalization? What is meant by globalization? These three topics I will try to cover. If time is there, I will cover one more topic. Clear, students? I appeal all my students to watch this video carefully and listen to my lecture attentively. Okay, students? Fine. Students, for a long time, since long time, foreign trade is considered as the channel or as the main channel for connecting various countries. Since times immemorial, since long back, foreign trade is considered to be the main channel for connecting countries. At the time, we used to do trade with sea routes and land routes. Long back, in the history you have studied, in the history subject you have studied, that our country is doing trade with many countries through land and sea routes. That means foreign trade is the main channel for connecting various countries. In the history part, you have studied how India did trade with South Asian countries and also with rest of the world. Or I can say like this, India and South Asia, markets were there, and these markets are covered by European countries through sea routes. Here in the textbook is given what? In history, you would have read about the trade routes. Several trade routes are connecting to India and South Asia. Okay, at the same time, extensive, large trade is carried between both East and West. We also remember about the East India Company. East India Company, which is one of the European company. So this East India Company came to India for trade purpose. They established the East India Company in 1600 AD. In 1600 AD, they established the trade center in India, and through this East India Company, they carried trade with our country. Now, what then is the basic function of foreign trade? I mean, what is the function of foreign trade? What is the basic function of foreign trade? Before knowing what is the basic function of foreign trade, let me tell you what is foreign trade. Foreign trade means trade by one country with another country. Trade by one country with other country, or trade by one country with many countries, or trade among countries in the world. So trade by one country with another country, trade by one country with many countries, or trade among countries in the world can be called as foreign trade. And this foreign trade is not new for us. It was there since long back, which was studied in history. Now coming to what is the function of foreign trade. I mean, foreign trade always creates and provides an opportunity. Foreign trade always creates and provides an opportunity for producers to reach beyond their domestic countries. That means so many producers are there in our country, India. These producers are producing so many goods and services. These goods and services can be exported and sold in other countries. That means foreign trade always creates or provides an opportunity to the producers of the domestic countries to reach beyond their countries. To reach beyond their countries here means to reach the international, to reach other countries. It is through foreign trade it become possible. It is through foreign trade it become possible that the producers of our country can sell their goods, their services in other countries. Similarly, other countries also, they'll get an opportunity to sell their goods in our countries. Okay, that means so far who are doing trade within the country, for example, India so far doing trade within the country. Now it is because of foreign trade, India gets an opportunity to sell their products, to sell the products of India in other country markets. So foreign trade always creates and provides opportunities to large number of producers to reach beyond their domestic boundaries. That means they can sell their produced goods in rest of the world markets. Clear? So far whatever trade they are doing within the country, within the domestic territory of India, now they can do trade out of India. I mean, they can sell their goods in another country markets, and this is possible only due to foreign trade. Due to this foreign trade, consumers are benefited a lot. They are getting lot of choices in front of them. Now so many choices are there. When foreign goods come to Indian markets, when different countries goods come to Indian market, then before Indians there is a lot of choice. Our country goods are there, Japan country goods, China country goods, American country goods, England country goods. So a lot of choices are there in front of the consumer. When choice is more, then generally there will be competition among the producers, and with this the consumers are benefited because the consumers can get best goods in less price, best quality goods in less price. So the consumers earlier, those who are purchasing only domestic made goods, the consumers earlier who are purchasing only domestic goods where there is no choice for them, but today on account of this foreign trade they get an opportunity of choices, because various country goods they came and sold in Indian markets. So there's a wide choice between the consumers to purchase the goods of best quality in less price. So choices of the consumers will be increased on account of foreign good, on account of foreign trade. Moreover, goods are available at less price, best quality goods the consumers can purchase. Domestic producers can get an opportunity to sell their goods in international markets. All this is possible on account of foreign trade. Now, moving to our next topic, that is Chinese toys in India. Chinese toys in India. This paragraph is very, very important. It may be asked in the examination. Actually, Chinese manufacturers, Chinese producers, manufacturers, those who are producing goods and services. So Chinese manufacturers learn of an opportunity to export their toys to India. Chinese manufacturers, they got an opportunity, they learnt of an opportunity to export their Chinese toys to India. Why? Because in India the toys are of high price. Indian toys which is produced in India, their price is very high. So Chinese manufacturers, they learnt of an opportunity to export their Chinese made toys into India, into Indian markets, where the prices of the toys are very high. In India the price of toys are very high. So China thought if they will bring their goods from China to India and sold in Indian markets, they'll get profit. They learned that one. That's why they brought their toys and sold in Indian markets. Okay. Now in this way the Chinese people started plastic toys to India. They started exporting all plastic toys into Indian markets. Buyers in India, those who are purchasing these toys, buyers in India now have the option, the choice between Indian toys and Chinese toys. So there's a choice was there between Indian purchasers. Now Indians can choose which toys is needed by them, at what price they can purchase. Because now we are having both Indian toys and Chinese toys. Chinese toys are made up of plastic. Their prices are less when compared with the prices of Indian toys. So Indian consumers now have a wide choice in toys field. They can purchase their choice of toys at less price. Moreover, Chinese toys which is made up of plastic, there are varieties of choices, okay, and they are available cheaper rate with new designs. So with this new design, with the new technology, with the less price, these Chinese toys became more and more popular in Indian markets. It became more and more popular in Indian markets. And Indians also liked Chinese toys because of different designs, different colors, available in less price, more durability. Hence, the Indian consumers also started purchasing more and more Chinese toys. And they stopped purchasing Indian toys. Okay. So in this way, after some years, what happened? The Chinese toys replaced the Indian toys. The Chinese toys, they replaced the market of Indian toys. Everywhere now, if you go to any shop, toy shop, fancy shop, you will get number of toys which are made in China. So Chinese toys, in all these years, they replaced the Indian toys in our markets. Now people are purchasing more and more Chinese toys when compared to the Indian toys, because Indian toys are high price, less number of designs, whereas Chinese toys, number of designs are there, quality is good, available in less price. So most of the Indian consumers, they started purchasing Chinese toys. Hence Chinese toys became more and more popular. Now toys are now cheaper in Indian markets than earlier. In this, what happened? The toys which were sold in Indian markets earlier, high prices, but now toys are sold in Indian markets at less price. So this is possible only because of what? Foreign trade. Next one. In general, with the opening of trade, I mean when trade was opened among the countries, when trade routes are opened among the countries, when trade is allowed in other countries. So in general, with the opening of trade, goods of one country, services of one country, okay, trade from one market to another market. I mean, with the opening of foreign trade, with the beginning of foreign trade, when the trade routes are opened, then what happens? Goods travel from one market to another market, from one country market to another country markets. They are traveling through sea routes, they are traveling through land routes, sometimes they are traveling through air routes also. So in general, with the opening of the trade, goods travel from one market to another market. Okay, choice of goods in the market rises. Now choices were increased. When foreign trade started, the choices of goods were increased in front of the consumers. The consumers are getting more choice to purchase whatever good they like. Prices of the similar goods. I mean same good, but the prices are different. So prices of similar goods in the two markets tend to become equal. I told you, Chinese toys brought in India and sold in Indian markets. Indian toys at the time, their price is very higher. So Indians stopped purchasing the Indian toys and started purchasing Chinese toys. Then what Indian manufacturers did? They also decreased their prices. So in this way, what happened? The same good, the prices now became equal. Same good, but the prices, which were earlier different, now the prices become equal, even lesser. So there's a wide choice in front of the consumer. The prices of various goods now became similar, same. And producers in the two countries, either our country or another country, the producers of two countries, okay, now they are competing against each other. The producers of each country, now they are competing with each other. I mean, people are competing that whose good is better in quality and available in less price. Okay, so when foreign trade started, competition among producers also started, that what quality good they have to produce so that people can like that one, and at what price they have to sell. So when this competition started, then the quality of goods also increased. The quality of goods were increased, choices were increased, prices become similar or even less than that one. So all these benefits were happened only because of foreign trade. So in this way, one more thing, foreign trade brought the countries closer. Earlier, foreign trade was very difficult. Miles, thousands of miles we have to go and we have to do trade. But today, foreign trade became very easier with the development of transport and communication. Next one. So I can say like this: foreign trade results in the connecting markets, or I can say foreign trade results in connecting the markets or integration of markets in different countries. What is the basic function of foreign trade? This is the answer. The basic function of foreign trade is connecting various markets or integration of various markets of different countries. I repeat, foreign trade thus connects, or I can say foreign trade thus results in connecting the markets or integration of markets in different countries. So integration markets of various countries or connecting various markets, that is the basic function of foreign trade. Now next I will move to what is globalization. What is meant by globalization? Listen students, in the past 2 or 3 decades, I mean 20 or 30 years, decade means 10 years. A decade means 10 years. In the past 2 or 3 decades, what happened? More and more MNCs, I mean multinational corporations, in the past 2 or 3 decades, more and more MNCs have been looking for locations around the world which would be cheap for their production. I mean, in the past 2 to 3 decades, it was noticed that more and more MNC corporations, I mean multinational companies or multinational corporations, they're looking around the world. They're looking the places, they're looking the locations, they're searching the locations where they can start their production at cheaper rate. They're searching the locations that would provide cheap for their production. They're searching such places where raw materials are available cheaply, where manpower is available cheaply, where markets are more, etc. etc. So in the past 2 to 3 decades, foreign trade, I mean that MNC companies, multinational corporations, okay, more and more MNCs, they're searching around the world for such locations where they can start cheap production. Foreign investment, already we have studied. What is foreign investment? Investment made by an MNC in some other country. Whenever an MNC invests their money in some other country for production, that is called what? Foreign investment. Okay, so foreign investment by MNC in these countries has been increasing. In the past 3 decades, or 30 years or 20 years, we have seen the foreign investment is increasing in all the countries. The foreign investment is increasing day by day in all the countries. Many foreigners, they're investing their money in India. Not only, I mean different country people, they found that India is the best location, best place where they can start cheap production. So foreign investment by the MNCs is increasing or rising in all these countries. At the same time, foreign trade between countries have been also rising rapidly. Nowadays, if you see, the foreign trade is increasing among all the countries. Long back in the history, if you see, very few countries that they involved in foreign trade. Very few countries were involved in foreign trade. But now, today what happened? The foreign trade became increasing. Okay, rising rapidly. The foreign trade nowadays is rising rapidly in all the countries. A large part of foreign trade is also controlled by MNCs. I can say today, a large part of foreign trade is controlled by MNCs, multinational corporations. For example, we read that one. An MNC, that is Ford Company of America, established one production unit in Chennai. With the collaboration of the Mahindra company, they started producing cars and they are sold in South Africa and some other countries. Not only they are exporting cars, they are also exporting the spare motor spare parts to all over the world. So in this way, for instance, the car manufacturing plant of Ford Motors in India not only produces cars for Indian markets, they are not only producing cars for Indian markets, but they are producing cars to sell in other developing countries like South Africa and other countries. Likewise, they are also exporting other what car components to various countries. Likewise, activities of what most MNCs involve substantial trade in goods and services also. Now, today, because of this MNCs, what happened? The result of greater foreign trade investment, the result of greater foreign investment, I mean when foreign investment is increasing more and more, and also greater foreign trade. So with the increase of foreign investment, with the increase in foreign trade, okay, what happened nowadays? There's a greater integration of production and markets across countries. I can say with the increase in foreign investment, with the increase in foreign trade, okay, there has been greater integration of production and markets across countries. Now the question is what is globalization? Now the answer is like this: globalization is the process of rapid integration. What is globalization? What is globalization? Globalization means, or globalization can be defined as the process of rapid integration. The process of rapid integration of markets. Okay, or we can say interconnection between countries. What is globalization? Globalization is a process of rapid integration of markets or interconnection with countries is called globalization. Now, MNCs are playing a vital role. MNCs are playing a vital role in globalization. MNCs are playing a vital role in the process of globalization. Dash plays a vital role in the process of globalization. MNCs, multinational corporations. More and more goods and services, investments and technology are moving between countries nowadays. I repeat once again, more and more goods, more and more services, okay, investments, technology are being exchanged, are being moving, are being transferred between countries nowadays. Today, in the age of globalization, goods, services, technology, investment are moving across countries, among the countries, between the countries. Now, most regions of the world are in closer contact with each other than a few decades back. Earlier, when you want to do trade with England or America or any other East Asian countries, it takes a lot of time. But today, the trade became very easier. This trade became easier on account of development of transportation, communication and technology. Now, besides movement of goods, movement of services, movement of technology, movement of investments, there is one more way in which countries can be connected. This is through movement of people between countries. I mean, in globalization, not only goods, not only services, not only investments, not only technology is moving among the countries, okay, moving among countries or moving between countries, but nowadays what we have seen, people also moving among countries. Migration and immigration is also taking place. Many people are going to America, Canada, Australia, China from India to work for better employment opportunities. Okay, so movement of people also between countries seen nowadays. People usually move. Listen, why do people usually move from one country to another country? Several reasons are there. There are several reasons why people move from one country to another country. Here, what is said here? People usually move from one country to another country in search of better employment opportunities or better incomes. People move from one country to another country in search of better employment opportunities and better incomes. Okay. Not only incomes, not only jobs, but also better education. Better education also. Many students are going to foreign countries to become doctors, to become engineers, to become MBA graduates, etc. So for education, for employment, for more incomes, people are moving among countries. Most of the Kerala people are going to Middle East, UAE. Now, in the past few decades, I mean 20 to 30 years back, however, there was not been much increase in the movement of people between countries. I mean 30 years back, very less number of people are moving. Their movement is very less. But today, what happened? Because of globalization, because of this interconnectedness among all the countries, okay, because of the government policies, now the movement among the people was also increased along with the goods, services, technology and this investments. Now, I will start the next topic, that is factors that have enabled globalization. What are the factors that are responsible for the beginning of globalization or development of globalization? So this we will study in the next period. I repeat, factors that have enabled globalization. And what are those factors that are responsible for boosting up, for development of globalization? So this I will continue in the next period. Okay students, thank you.